Hi everyone, welcome to Essex Sport Facebook page. My name's Arlene. I'm going to run a 30-minute yoga session for you today. Please make sure you've got plenty of space to move around comfortably. It'd be nice to have a yoga mat and a surface that's not too slippery, and you might have some water nearby, and just make sure to do any movements that feel comfortable for you today. Okay, great. So we're going to start the session laying on our backs. If you come to lay comfortably on your mat and just check in. This is just a nice time to turn inward and just be present in this moment. So if you'd like to make any adjustments to your arms or your limbs to feel comfortable, check in if you'd like to have your knees bent, which is nice if you have lower back issues, or you might like to have your legs straight. And your arms, let them be comfortable, so they might be out to the side. You can have them on your belly, or one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Just take a moment to check in and notice what feels comfortable for you, little adjustments. Good. And as you get comfortable, just start to feel and observe in its natural state, your breath. So how does your inhalation feel? Where does it enter? What parts of your body begin to move? And when you exhale, can you notice the parts of the body that touch the ground? So notice the back of your head, your arms and shoulders, your hands, your feet, your hips, parts of your back. Just observe the relationship you have with the ground. As you inhale, movement across the skin, as your body expands, and as you exhale, relaxing into the mat through your touching points. And just observe your breath without effort. Let it be soft and gentle. Just notice its rise and fall uninterrupted. And as you connect with your breath, it helps to anchor you to this moment, just to notice how you feel without judgment. Just take a moment to scan and check in. How do your feet and legs feel? Just notice it without judgment. Notice your lower back, your hips, your shoulder blades, your stomach and chest. Just observe this part of your body without judgment. Notice your fingers, your hands, your elbows and arms, your shoulders, your neck. How do your arms, your hands, and your neck and shoulders fit today? Just notice and check in with your jaw. Does it feel clenched? Is it relaxed? Notice your cheeks, your eyes. Are your eyes active? And can you soften your eyes, relax them backwards? And observe that space between your eyebrows, your forehead, and your scalp. Just observe your body as a whole. You can feel as you take this time to connect with this moment, it might encourage your heart rate to relax, to slow down, and just to be comfortable in this moment. When you're ready, just very, very slowly make gentle movements to reconnect with your body with ease. You might sense the temperature of the skin surrounding you. You might notice, again, the connection points with the ground, the rise and fall of your breath, and just very slowly start to make little movements, perhaps in your joints, or rotating your head side to side, your toes. And then when you're ready, just gently bend your knees and place your feet comfortably on the floor. And again, just make little adjustments with this small movement. Perhaps your shoulders would make little adjustments to feel comfortable, in your arms. And now notice the relationship you have with the ground between your feet and your tailbone and your hips. So does one feel heavier than the other, your hips or your feet? And imagine that below your feet there's wet sand, warm wet sand, and you want to make an even impression into the floor. And as you exhale, just very slowly push your feet into the ground, and perhaps that brings a bit of lightness to your lower back. And then relax. And just do that twice more at your own pace. Exhale, slowly push your feet into the ground, lightness in your lower back, and then release. And once more at your own pace, relaxing your feet, eagling to the ground, feeling lightness in your lower back, and then relaxing again. Good, then we'll bring one thigh towards your stomach, so we'll lift one foot off the floor, and just hold behind your shin or onto your thigh, wherever it's comfortable. The other leg can keep your knee bent, or you might straighten your leg onto the floor. Just see which one you prefer And be kind to your lower back. Notice what feels comfortable. Observe if it feels like you're lifting up against the floor, and can you relax evenly into the ground. As an option, if you want to come into the steeper, you can lift your head up towards your knees. But just feel your hips evenly on the ground, your shoulders. Good. And then when you're ready, relax your upper body down if it's lifted, and then switch. And we'll do the other knee bent, thigh towards your stomach, holding where it's comfortable. And would you like to have your other leg straight or knee bent? Just check in. Does it feel like you're lifting up against gravity? Can you relax evenly into the ground? Relax your shoulders, your jaw, the muscles of your face. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll release that leg. Take a nice full body stretch. Inhale your arms overhead, lengthen your toes away from you. Exhale both knees to chest. Hold your shins and stay here. And just find a rocking motion that feels comfortable for you. So you can stay here and just make very small movements side to side, or you can rock forwards and backwards a little. You might imagine that your knees have pencils and you're drawing circles on the ceiling with them in either direction, or you might come to a little happy baby pose if that feels nice, with your feet flexed and your knees slightly wider than hip space, and you can rock or start to extend one leg up at a time. So just notice what feels nice for you. Good. Just a little rocking. And perhaps again you can observe that connection or relationship you have with the ground. So where does it feel comfortable, and adjust. If it feels uncomfortable, you can lower your feet or take another option for the rocking that feels comfortable for your body. Okay, great. So when you're ready, you can either roll to one side, push yourself up, or you can rock up from here, and we'll come to all fours on hands and knees. Good. Once you come to all fours, just notice the alignment of your body. So your hands are about the width of your shoulders, your knees about the width of your hips, and just feel evenness. Good. And then we'll come to child's pose. Very slowly bring your bottom to your heels, and just start to bring upper body down, and just notice where that's comfortable. So would you like to have your forehead rest on two fists or single fist? The ground itself, you can have any cushions or blocks here that are comfortable to rest your forehead on, rolled up towels. Let your arms feel comfortable. Do you like that sense of reaching them, your fingertips forward? And that creates length on the sides of your body. Or maybe you like to bend your elbows and rest your forearms on the ground. And just start to notice the back body. So as you relax into the mat and let gravity take over for your shins and the parts that touch the ground, perhaps your breath begins to inflate through your lower back and up your spine to your shoulder blades in the back of your head. Good. One more breath here. So we'll stay in our child's pose, but if you just lift your forehead away from the support and walk your hands on the floor to the right side. So it's a little side bend in child's pose. Just do that as much as feels comfortable. Any support for your head with your fist, or the same options here. And maybe you start to lengthen your fingers away from you. Let your shoulders feel comfortable, so you can widen the space between them, or bend your elbows to rest your forearms on the ground. Good. Just be kind to your shoulder space. Notice what feels nice. Good. Then we'll lift our head, gently walk through center, and do the same on the other side. A little side bend, forehead can rest. Where would you like to feel your arms? Where are they comfortable? And at the same time, your bottom relaxes towards your heels. So perhaps you feel a little release on your hips or your lower back. Good. So one more breath here. Then we'll gently uncurl and come back up to all fours on your hands and knees. Okay, from here, if you start to reach one arm out to the sides, and then rotate from your waist, and just open or rotate as much as feels comfortable. See where it's comfortable to turn your head, and then think about drawing a circle on the ceiling with these fingertips here. That can be quite small or large. Notice what range feels nice for you, and go in either direction. So just avoid tension in your movements, and if you do like a larger circle, you might have your arm come next to your ear, or even back near your hip space. But again, just explore, how does that feel nice as you rotate your shoulder. Good. And then we'll open our arm again into that half T, gently rotate back to center, and just do the other side when you're ready. So rotating the opposite direction, just as much as feels comfortable. Again, you can rest at any time in child's pose if it begins to feel intense, or make adjustments. You can place something underneath your hand if you feel any tension in your wrist. Good, but just notice how that rotation might feel, create ease in your shoulder. Good, and then we'll keep our arm open out to that half T, rotate back to center. Good, we'll practice a puppy dog pose next. So keep your hips above your knees, walk your hands forward. Your hands might be shoulder width apart, they might be wider if that feels more comfortable in shoulders. And just very slowly start to bring your upper body towards the floor. Stop at any point here. So at maximum, you might rest your forehead on the ground.
And as you stay in your puppy dog pose, just see if this stillness creates a little bit of ease in your lower back. And it's almost like your tailbone reaches a bit to that space behind you. And you can feel perhaps a lengthening, not only in your lower back, but perhaps on your sides. Good. One more breath here. And then to come out, walk your hands slowly back. So your hands are underneath your shoulders. We'll push up to all fours. And just set up for downward facing dog next. So if you tuck your toes under, bring your bottom to your heels, and imagine your hands are softening to warm, soft sand or wet sand that molds your hands. So you can really give to the earth. And as you exhale, we'll lift our hips up, bottom kind of rises up to the ceiling. You're welcome to keep your knees bent. And this is just similar to that puppy dog pose, where you feel that length in your spine and your sitting bones kind of lengthen to the wall behind you. If this becomes intense at any time, you might come back to the puppy dog pose or child's pose, which both create nice length in your lower back and your spine and create that nice inverted feeling. So if you'd like to, you can start to bring movement to your downward facing dog. You might turn your head side to side. You can even start to bring flying dog into this by lifting one leg. You might draw your knee towards your navel with your knee bent and then lengthen your heel away from you again, and do the same on the other side, just as an option. So just find and explore in down dog what feels nice for you today. If you want to bring little movements to this, maybe turning your head or your hips a bit to the side. Good. So what feels nice for your downward facing dog? Lovely. Just explore that for another round of breath or two. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly come to forward fold. So walking hands to feet or vice versa. Or if you're in all fours or in child's pose, come up through all fours and step your feet between your hands. And then just check in. Is it nice to have your knees a bit bent in your forward fold or uttanasana? Do you like your forearms resting here? And just start to feel, where does this create space in your lower back? You're welcome to transition to that wherever you'd like to practice your forward fold, resting your hands on your legs or maybe towards the floor. Or if you have any cushions or support here, you can rest your hands on them. Good. You might even bend your elbows and hold on to the opposite forearm to lengthen the top of your head towards your forearms. Good. Just notice here another breath or two in forward fold. Make it your own. Adjust at any time. Observe if the weight is even in your feet. Does it feel like the weight's coming more towards your heels or more towards your toes? And can you make little adjustments here? It's almost like a softening of your sitting bones up to the ceiling. And that just helps to ease the back of your legs into that space behind you. And feel connected evenly through the floor in your feet. Good. And then to come out of forward fold, if you draw your navel inward, either unroll your spine and curl up to standing, navel's engaged, or you can hinge up to standing and push your feet. So just see which one you prefer. When you're upright, good, we're going to come towards a little upper back bend. So either stay here and start to gaze upwards, and this is already creating a little upper back feeling. Or you might come into this a bit more deeply by rotating through your shoulders to bring your arms behind you. And you might bend your elbows and place your hands on your lower back. Stay wherever it's comfortable, so you can adjust your arms back to having them overhead. If you'd like to, and your hands are on your lower back, you might slide, kind of push down on your lower back, so your fingers are lengthening towards the floor. And just gaze wherever that's comfortable, wherever it's comfortable for your neck to look. Get the sides of your neck soft, and you might start to feel the breath opening through your chest and your collarbones. Good, lovely. And when you're ready, slowly come back upright, and you can give everything a little shake. Good, and then if you stand with your feet about hip width apart, and bring your arms up overhead, and imagine you're going to sit to chair pose, but let your arms gently relax down. So as you exhale, sit as if to chair, let your arms swing down. Good, and just do that again at your own pace. Good, we'll do two more. Good, last one. Good, and then slowly open your arms out to the side. Okay, so if you stand facing kind of the short edge of your mat, and your hips are evenly facing forward, step your right leg comfortably back. Good, check in, maybe your feet are like train tracks, you might rotate your right leg out to the side through your thigh. Good, you can adjust, make that deeper if desired, see what feels nice for you. And we'll slowly bring both arms up overhead. Again, almost like that pathway that they're rising up at the width of your shoulders. Good. Stay there for a moment, and you can look upwards and feel as if your fingers are kind of lengthening up to the ceiling. That creates length in your spine in a warrior one. Good. And then bring your body upright and bend your left elbow so your hands come between your shoulder blades, and you can hold onto your left elbow with your right hand. Stay there, and as if you're trying to lengthen your elbow upwards. Okay, if that's comfortable, stay, or you might create that into a little side bend. So you're just relaxing over to the right side, and perhaps that creates a bit of ease on your left hip or your rib cage. Good, and then gently back to center. Lengthen your arms long. Good, exhale, step your feet together. You're welcome to give everything a little shake, or you might rotate your hips in a circle if that feels comfortable to relax that tension. Good, and then we'll do the other side when you're ready. So standing, facing the short edge of your mat, step the left foot comfortably back, hip width apart, feet like train tracks, or rotate gently from your thigh to turn your left toes out to the side, or left leg out to the side. When you're ready, inhale, arms up. Feel that length in your fingertips. Exhale, bend your right knee. Check in. You can adjust the width of your feet front and back, or side to side. And if for stability, so just notice where it's comfortable. Take that little optional gaze upwards to challenge your balance of the toe. Or warrior one. Good, one more breath here. And then slowly bring your arms upright, your body upright. Bend a right elbow this time. Place your fingertips between your shoulders. Hold onto your right elbow with your left hand. Little side bend over to the left this time. And just feel, where does that create ease? And you can also adjust where your head is turned. So you can challenge your balance by looking up. You can look down for stability. And just be kind to your neck and your shoulders. Good. When you're ready, slowly come back up. Extend your arms, step your feet together. You can give everything a little shake. Okay, so great to practice a balance. Another standing balance next. You might come off of your mat or stand near a wall to see what's comfortable. But just from your mountain pose, connect with the floor evenly. So you might have your feet together or slightly apart. Feel the weight even front and back, side to side, both feet, shoulders over hips, and almost like the top of your head lengthens upwards. Good, we'll bring our arms up overhead to start. And then if it's comfortable, you might interlace your thumbs and start to lengthen your fingertips up. And just notice how that feels on your sides. Your chin stays parallel to the floor. You can even have a sense that you're retracting your head back a little bit. Good. Lovely. And when you're ready, gently open your arms out to the side. Maintain that length in your spine that you created, and shift the weight over to one leg. So maybe it's just over to your left leg and your right knee bends. Good. Then rotate from your thigh to turn your knee out to the side. So options to stay here, or you can cross so your ankle's in front of your shin. Options to stay there. Good. Or you can lift your foot off the floor, or if you want more, you can wrap your toes around your standing leg. So just see where you'd like to be. Come back to any of the options at any time. Then bring your arms out to the side. Bend your elbows. Palms are facing forward. And then bring your left elbow on top of your right, and the back of your hands touch. If that feels intense on your shoulders, you might uncross your elbows. So just the backs of your hands are touching, your forearms are slightly crossed. Good. If you're comfortable here and you want more, you can bring the 4 fingers of your right hand to wrap around the thumb of your upper arm. Just come into that as much as feels comfortable. If you want to, a bit more from here, you can bend your knees and just sit straight down for Eagle's Pose or Gardadasana. And just notice how that feels. Your breath perhaps starts to gently inflate between your shoulder blades. The tips of your rib cage start to expand outward, almost like you're floating or flying like an eagle on an airstream. Good. Lovely. Come out at any time. On your breath here if you're comfortable. And then when you're ready, very slowly start to unravel arms. You can unravel your legs and give everything a little shake or massage out. Encircle your ankles or rotate your shoulders if that feels more comfortable. Good, so back to our mountain pose. Notice your shoulders over your hips. Bring your arms back overhead. Good. Option to interlace your thumbs, or you can keep your arms shoulder width apart and just start to lengthen your fingertips upwards, chin parallel to the floor. You might retract your head slightly back. Feel that length that creates. And open your arms out to the side, keeping that long spine. Shift the weight over to the other leg, so maybe that's your right leg. Same options here. Left knee bends or other knee bends, knee out to the side. Stay is an option. Cross your ankle in front of your straight leg. Stay is an option. Maybe you lift your foot off the floor. Maybe you wrap your toes around your standing leg. Once you find your stability in your legs, you can open your arms out to the side, bend your elbows, palms are facing forward, and then slowly bring your right elbow on top of your left this time. Again, you might have just your forearms crossed if that's more comfortable on your shoulders. You bring the 4 fingers of your bottom hand around to wrap to the palm or the thumb of your upper arm. Stay there, or you might bend at your knees, keeping that long spine. Stay there, breathe into that space in your shoulder blades, relaxing, creating space and openness. Good, 1 more breath here. And then when you're ready, very slowly, you can start to unravel your arms, unravel your legs. Good, And then just step your legs wider than hip width apart. So you might be facing the long edge of your mat. Just move where it's comfortable. Good. And then start to reach your fingers behind you. And just notice if your shoulders are over your hips. You can make little adjustments. And here again, the weight feels even throughout your feet. Good. Once your arms are behind you, bend your elbows and you might rest the backs of your hands on your hips. If you want more, you can interlace your fingers near your tailbone. If you want more from there, maybe sort of lengthen your knuckles towards the floor, so your arms gently lengthen and straighten. Stay if that's comfortable, long neck and spine. Feel the breath open through your collarbones. Engage your navel a little bit, and then fold from where your thigh meets your hips. And just gently come forward as much as feels comfortable. So you feel a sense of lengthening of the top of your head away from you. So you're welcome to come into that deeper, maybe chest parallel to the floor, or even having the top of your head towards the ground. So just come into that as much as feels comfortable. If any time you start to feel tension arise in your shoulders, gently ease out. Good. So we'll stay for 2 more breaths in that forward fold. You can have a little micro bend in your knees if that feels more comfortable, and again, adjust. You don't have to come too close to the floor if that feels uncomfortable, but prioritize that sense of lengthening in your spine, like you're growing your head away from you. Little micro bends in your knees to avoid any tension there. Good. 1 more breath here. Lovely. So if you're comfortable, stay as you are in your forward fold, but release hold of your fingertips, and you can place your hands on the floor. You might bend your knees to reach the floor more comfortably, or you can use blocks here if you have any, or some hooks. Good. But once you're in a forward folded position, walk your hands forward about a foot, and then start to lengthen your tailbone to that space behind you. So it feels like a wide leg downward facing dog, and that starts to lengthen your side body. You might turn your head side to side if you feel any tension in your shoulders, and you're welcome to come up into your fingertips. So you might have your hands on a block or the floor itself. But a sense of easing your tailbone, lengthening your lower back, neck long with your spine, like it's creating a long line from your tailbone all the way up to that space behind the back of your head and your neck. Good. And then when you're ready, slowly walk your hands back so they're close to your feet. And then just take one hand and place it on the floor across from your nose. Again, you can do this with a block underneath your hand, or you might bend your knees. Good. And then the other arm, reach it out to the side in a half T. Stay if that's comfortable. If you want more, you can start to rotate from your waist. And you can see where you'd like to turn your head towards the ground, or you can challenge your bounce looking upwards towards your fingertips. And just ease here for a few breaths. Come out at any time, or adjust if it feels intense. But you might start to feel a little rotation through your lower back, all the way up your spine, and a lengthening of your chest space as your fingers lengthen away. Good. Then slowly rotate back to center, and we'll swap. So just placing the other hand on the floor across from your nose, reaching the opposite arm out to the side. When you're ready, adding that little rotation very gently. And maybe you can start to explore that little feeling of release or rotation through your lower back, your mid-back, all the way up to your shoulder blades. And perhaps that eases and creates space in your chest. Good. Look where it's comfortable, so avoid any tension in your neck. Lovely. And then we'll gently rotate back to center. And to come out, you can either place your hands on your hips out to the side, or you might interlace your fingers behind you again, like we did when we came forward. And slowly push your feet. Imagine the top of your head is lengthening away from you as you ease back up. Good. Then we'll step our feet together. Give everything a little shake. Good. And then we're going to come down to the ground through a squat position next. So if you turn your toes out to the side, your heels are in the center, shoulders over your hips, and again that sense that the top of your head is lengthening upwards. Bend your elbows, palms touch in front of your heart space, and just start to imagine that the breath has a pathway. As you inhale, this rises up from your navel to your heart, and as you exhale, it relaxes from your heart down to your navel. And just notice your breath in its natural state, rising and falling. Inhaling, breath rising from navel to heart, and exhaling, heart to navel. Good. So just one more grounding breath here. Feel the weight evenly throughout your feet. Your shoulders soft and relaxed. Then when you're ready, we'll gently bend our knees and slowly come to that squat position. Good. You can adjust your heels so it feels comfortable. Stop at any height. At maximum, you might have your elbows come inside of your knees, but just notice what feels comfortable. You might place something underneath your heels, like a rolled up towel or some cushions if your heels lift for a bit of support. Keep your head forward, and as you exhale, just slowly tilt your head to one side. Perhaps that relaxes through the side of your neck and your jaw. Head back to center, other side. Just feeling a release, the side of your neck, your jaw. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll bring our hands to the floor behind us. Good. Then open your legs out into a straddle position. You're welcome to sit up on a block here. Your knees are up towards the ceiling. Good. Keep one leg straight and the other knee bend, and bring the bottom of your foot inside of your thigh. Good. Place your hands either side of your knee here. You're welcome to roll up a mat or towel and place it under your knee for support. Good. Rotate so your breast runs across from your knee. Other leg, you might have your knee bent if that's more comfortable. Foot flexed. Good. And then the arm that's behind you, just start to bring it up towards the ceiling, and you can rotate your palm faces up forward. Then just very slowly to take a side bend here. So just stop wherever that's comfortable. You might keep the hand in front on the floor, or you can extend it so it's on the inside of your straight leg. Good. So you're welcome to come into that deeper, so your fingertips come towards your toes. Just notice what feels nice for you. So no pressure to come into that deeply, but just feel where that creates a little ease. If the arm overhead's intense, you're welcome to place your hand on your hip. Good. 2 more breaths here. Just feeling almost like your hips and your rib cage are relaxing to the side. Good. And then slowly come back up. Good. And then we'll reverse and do the other side. Good. You might lean back, other leg straight, bottom of your foot just resting inside of your leg, shoulders over your hips, so that nice long spine. You might bend your knee to find that. Rotate from your waist, breastbone across from your bent knee, hand in behind you, slowly reach it up. You can turn your palm forward. Gently take that little side bend. See if you'd like to rest your hand here. Bring your arm on the inside of your straight leg. And just start to find that little bit of stillness. Your hips even on the floor. Relaxing your rib cage, the outside edge of your hip. Good, your neck, your shoulders. Lovely. And then when you're ready, slowly come back up. Good. And then we'll bend both knees. Hold onto your shins and have a long spine, but just gently rock side to side. And notice how that feels. A little release for your lower back. Okay, great. So we're going to come to lay on our back next with our knees bent. So as you lay on your back with your knees bent, just notice your touching points, your feet, your hips, your shoulders, the back of your head, and just feel evenness on the floor. And we'll do a little tilting of our hips. So as you inhale, you can start to tilt your hips up, and you notice your navel draw slightly inward. Good, and then as you exhale, your stomach lifts upwards towards the ceiling, and your back rounds away from the floor, almost like your tailbone tips into the ground. And just do another round of breath here. Tailbone tips up, navel draws inward. Exhale. Navel draws upwards, tailbone tips down. Good, so stay with that little tilting if that feels comfortable. Alternatively, you might lift up to bridge, lift as high as feels comfortable. You can come down at any time. Check in if you'd like to tuck your shoulder blades under and interlace your fingers on the ground below you. You might bring your arms up overhead. Let's see where that's comfortable for you, or out to the side. Come down at any time, but imagine that your knees are just kind of lengthening forward, so that creates ease here in the front of your thighs. But be kind to your body in this position. So gaze upwards, so your neck is nice and neutral, and you might feel that little transfer of weight. Your breast just eases between your shoulder blades and your neck. Any tension at any time, come out. One more breath here if you're comfortable. Good. When you're ready, you can transition your arms so they're, again, either side of your hips. Slowly lower each vertebrae down with control. Just gently relaxing your lower back, your hips into the mat. Once you're fully out of the position, bring your knees to your chest. Hold your shins. You can bring forehead up towards your knees. Just check in how that feels. You can bring a little rock into this. Good. Then we'll do a little rotation now. So open your arms out to the side. As you exhale, relax your knees over to one side. You can place support underneath your knees if that's more comfortable. If this is uncomfortable and not for you, you might just gently windshield wiper your knees side to side. See where you'd like to turn your head off to straighten your leg or hold onto your toes here. And just feel where that creates a bit of ease on the outside edge of your body, your hip, your lower back, your rib cage. Good. One more breath here. And when you're ready, very slowly bend your knees. Roll into center and do the other side when you're ready. Knees over to the side. See where you'd like to turn your head. Both shoulders relaxing into the ground. So you might pop a little cushion or block there if your shoulder's lifting away from the floor, or bend your elbow. Good. Option again to straighten your upper leg. See where that's comfortable. And maybe that starts to create a bit of ease in your lower back, your hips, your rib cage, the openness in your chest. Added rotation by turning your head away from your knees. Good. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, very slowly bend your knees,
Gently roll onto your back again. Good, and we'll take a nice full body stretch. Reach your arms long overhead, toes away from you. Good. And just come to a comfortable position to lay back for a few moments of rest. And as you come to lay back, see if you like your legs straight or your knees bent. And just take a moment now to breathe here into the back body. And imagine that with each breath, you start to relax into that space behind you. And with each breath, you can feel a calm force or energy enter. And it flows through your body, into every cell. And as you exhale, you can relax into the space behind you and let go. Let go and relax your feet, your legs, your hips, your back, your stomach and chest, your shoulder blades and neck, your fingers, your arms, your jaw, your face, your eyes, the top of your head. Just come to find those few moments of stillness to relax into the space behind you. Good. Please feel free to stay here and enjoy your relaxation for a few more moments. When it does feel like you're ready to come out, just move slowly and gently, like you're coming out of a dreamlike state or through water. And gently find that time to reconnect with your body and ease yourself back into your day. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for joining me and honoring yourself with your practice of yoga. Feel free to check out any of the other videos that we have for exercise on Essex Sport or on the YouTube page, and send over any messages if you have any. All right, thank you. Have a great day.